can't have, mustn't have, don't have, shouldn't have. Food and eating is such a controversial topic. How do you know what's going to work for you? And is it a social media influencer telling you what they eat and you go, well, maybe that'll work for me, so I'm going to give it a go? You could have gone to a professional like a dietitian or a naturopath or a doctor who said this is the way you should eat. You could have read a book. Your next door neighbour could have given you advice about food, because everyone's got an opinion about food. You have the right to have an opinion about food. So how do you know what's going to work for you? And I think there's a series of questions that are really important to ask, because people ask me every day, what should I eat? And I would never, ever be so disrespectful and so rude to tell somebody what to eat for these reasons. My first question is always this: what do you love to eat? And if there's something that you love, or many foods that you love, if somebody tells you that you can't have it, mustn't have it, don't have it, shouldn't have it, it's bad for you, is it possible that a couple of things will happen? One, you'll be angry that you can't have it anymore. Or two, if you do have it, you'll feel guilty because now you think it's a bad food. And somebody who's dealt with, I've had clients my entire career with eating challenges. I don't like to call them disorders, but people who eat too much, they don't eat enough, they don't want to eat at all, they eat and then exercise too much, all those horrible labels, anorexia, bulimia, exercise bulimia, obesity. To me, those horrible headspaces, my clients have shared with me, it's all come from you can't have, mustn't have, don't have, shouldn't have. So now we've got a stigma attached to food. So what do you love to eat? And surely your eating plan should always include the foods that you love. My next question is, what don't you like to eat? Why on earth would you eat something, waste calories on food that you don't like? To me, food is such a special experience, and to put stuff in your mouth that you don't like, why would you do that? The next question is, how does it fit into your lifestyle? So where do you like to eat? When do you like to eat? Two very important questions. There's intermittent fasting. There's eat 3 times a day. There's eat 5 times a day. There's eat 16 hours between meals. You've got to count. You can't eat now because you've got to wait another half an hour because it's got to be 16 hours between meals. There's a whole heap of opinions about when you should eat and then where you should eat. You should never eat in front of the television. You should never eat at a restaurant. You shouldn't eat in a social occasion because you'll eat too much food. There's all of these opinions about when and where you should eat. But how about what's going to suit your lifestyle? So here's just a personal thing for me. We've had a bed made, a custom made, 7 people fit on our bed, 2 adults and 5 dogs. And we love, my husband and I and our 5 dogs, love hanging out on the couch and sharing treats together. It's one of my favourite times of the day. My husband and I, our most relaxing time of the day, we eat our dinner, whatever time of the day it is, and it's usually early in the morning, on our custom-made bed in front of the television and just enjoy each other's company, and we have a great time. It's one of the most special times of my life. If somebody said to me, you shouldn't eat late at night and you shouldn't eat in front of the television, our relationship would be over, because that's the most important part of my life. So what's important to you, and don't let somebody steal that from you or take it away from you or tell you that you shouldn't do it. Surely your eating plan should fit in with your lifestyle. When do you like to eat? Where do you like to eat? And of course, the first 2 questions, which is what do you like to eat and what don't you like to eat? My next most important question is, if you were your own high performance eating coach, what advice would you give yourself? Because you're a smart person, you know what works for you, you live inside your body. If something doesn't taste good, doesn't feel good, gives you a stomach ache, doesn't give you a stack of energy, why on earth would you do it? Versus somebody could tell you you're gluten intolerant or you're lactose intolerant or you shouldn't eat meat, or there's a whole heap of things that people say. But you will know, if you eat bread and it makes you feel bloated, why would you eat it? If you drink milk and it makes you feel bloated, you don't drink it. You know your body, isn't that exciting? So rather than have somebody tell you what to eat, how about ask yourself, what's going to work best for me? And here's every time I've asked that question, I've been an exercise professional all of my life and I've never told anybody what to eat. Because when I say, if you were your own high performance eating and exercise coach, what advice would you give yourself? That great question. Nobody's ever said to me, I think I should eat junk food, stuff that comes in a packet, in a bag and as highly processed. I should eat takeaway food, lollies, chocolate cakes, and eat nothing else. No one's ever said that to me. Everybody's got a really good idea of what works, and regardless of your cultural background or your education, most people know that if you eat highly processed food that has a stack of sugar in it and a stack of fat in it and it comes in a packet or a bag, will probably not be as healthy as something that either eats what grows in the ground or what grows in the ground. I think that's a really logical thing to consider. How much processing has it been through? And does it mean that I can't have it? And I hate that you can't have, mustn't have, don't have, shouldn't have. I'm not a parent, but I have noticed that when you tell a child you can't, they want it even more. Is that possible with adults as well? You can't have that, you mustn't have it, you shouldn't have it, now you want it even more. So what can you stick to for the rest of your life is another very important question, because if a diet is for a short period of time, is it possible there's always going to be a bounce back effect? And I'm sure you've seen that. People go on a diet, they lose weight and they put weight back on again, but more, because they couldn't have, mustn't have, don't have, shouldn't have for such a long period of time, or for a period of time, so that when they go back to what's normal eating, they now eat more of what it just doesn't make any sense. How about, what can I stick to for the rest of my life? What can I include in my eating plan that I could always eat? What's going to fit my lifestyle for the rest of my life? So rather than listen to some expert tell you what you can and can't have, and they all disagree. There's cardiologists that say you should be a carnivore, and there's cardiologists that say you should be a vegan vegetarian. How do you know who to believe? You live inside your body, listen to your own body. If you don't feel good, don't eat it. If it makes you feel good, then you should eat it. And to me, there's two questions there, psychologically and physiologically. You've got to have a happy head and a happy body. And if you are, and I've met too many people and had to deal with too many people who have ripped abdominals and tight butt cheeks and the perfect body, but they're bloody miserable because their headspace is all so totally focused on I can't have, mustn't have, don't have, shouldn't have, and they're miserable and they're stressed and they feel guilty if they have the tiniest bit of something that they think is a bad food. And sadly, because I've been doing this a very long time, there are some people that have died very early, very miserable. They've died with ripped abdominals and tight butt cheeks, but they've been stressed and they feel guilty and their life is not very happy, and they've ended up with either cancer or some kind of horrible headspace, and they're no longer with us because they screwed up their headspace because of their food. I don't wish that for anybody. And I'm coming at you from a very personal place because I've had clients who have been anorexic, bulimic, obese, exercise bulimics, and they're just miserable. And I've had people in my life, those particular people, I've had lots of them who are either mentally unwell and have been all of their life, or they're just not with us anymore because they just didn't want to live like that anymore. That's how serious this is. So surely food should be a wow fun experience. Eat what you love. Don't eat what you don't like. Eat when you're hungry. Stop eating when you're full. And of course, the answer to all of that is to have a healthy, fit, strong body so that you have a healthy, fit, strong brain so that you can live your life to the max. And you can have chocolate in your kitchen and not eat the whole bucket. Woohoo! Live your life to the max. Woo!